let's look at maybe who's eating good in the neighborhood by Applebee's. And one team that's eating well is the Washington Commanders and their rookie quarterback, Jayden Daniels. As a matter of fact, he's been feasting. Last Monday night, he was on fire. Tell me your impressions of this young quarterback.
I thought I was watching a young Doug Williams. That's what I thought I was watching, a young Doug Williams. The kid was just so accurate, so poised, just extremely athletic. His teammates love him. He's got this dog, this serious side of him. I just don't want to see him taking any hits, but I think he's a fantastic quarterback. Kind of reminds you of C.J. Stroud with his decision-making, Coach.
He really has. He's come into it very, very calmly, poised. Didn't start out great in that first game. Second game, much better. Third game was electric. And he went into Cincinnati, dueling against Joe Burrow, guy who was before him at LSU. He said, yeah, I see all the Joe Burrow things on the wall here, and I understand who I'm competing against. And he went in there and just did his job and said, hey, you got to deal with us now.
Against a good defense, and a defense that we always talk about their defensive coordinator being Lou Anarumo, being a really good defensive coordinator against a rookie quarterback. He went in there and really set the world on fire. I was really extremely happy for him. I thought that, he was 1-2 right there with Caleb as far as the top quarterbacks coming out the draft. But I just love the poise and the maturity of this kid. And he enjoys playing football. And there's a seriousness side of him that, man, is just so competitive. You got to love it.
And I love Coach Dan Quinn, even though he's a rookie. In the big moments, he's putting the ball in his hands and saying, go win the game for us. Fourth quarter, Cincinnati's coming back. Big third down play. They need something to happen. And there's a little bit of confusion there. And I'm watching TV. Call timeout. Call timeout. He lines them up, faces the blitz, airs it out to Terry McLaurin, touchdown to put the game away. I thought, man, that was the play there that defined things.
Hey, thanks for reminding me about that play on the right side, right in the corner, fade. What a beautiful pass. I mean, you thought you looking at Dan Marino throw that pass. It was such a beautiful pass. But, yeah, these young men, man, they have so much talent. And what I love about them, Coach, yeah, they'll move and scramble around. But really, they want to be known and defined as, pocket passers.
Yes, and this young man, he has ability, he has speed, he can move, he can throw on the run, but he made some throws from the pocket, under pressure, right on the money that were really, really impressive. And, boy, you look at that highest completion percentage in a game with 2 touchdown passes, that's some good company he's in there.
And I just love the fact that the Washington Commanders, no longer do we have to worry about them being a negative light in the National Football League. This is the organization, new ownership, new coaching, new direction. Things are positive. They got a star young quarterback. I'm just really excited for the future of the Washington Commanders. Got a really good young general manager who's going to do some great things there. So Adam Peters, I'm just really excited about the Commanders, Coach.
They're definitely on the right track, and I don't think we can really count them out. We talk about Philly and Dallas in the NFC East and think it's going to come down there. Washington's going to make some noise before this year is over.
Absolutely, especially with that young guy leading.
Yeah. Well, another young quarterback who's eating pretty good in the neighborhood was Bo Nix on Sunday in my neighborhood in Tampa. He came down to Tampa against a very good defense on the road and put up some big numbers. I was high on Bo Nix before the draft. I was high on him in training camp. Based on the preseason he had, but he really lit it up for the first time on Sunday, Rod.
So, Coach, you got me really excited about Bo Nix because you talked about him so much in the offseason. You actually forced me to go and watch and study a lot more tape. And the kid is fantastic. And the kid is just a dog out there. And the one thing I mentioned to you is like he doesn't look like a rookie. When you see him play, the command of the offense, and he's with the perfect guy in Sean Payton, who's going to constantly push him, who's going to constantly remind him of footwork and his reads. And you can see him going through his reads. You can see the sneaky athleticism that he has and just all the things that he's doing, keeping his vision down the field. I like the kid a lot. And the Denver Broncos, they found their quarterback.
Yes, I met him at University of Oregon. He had transferred in, immediately got the players' attention. They loved him. He was a captain there, only being there 1 year. And he was just a fantastic young man. So I think he's doing the same thing in Denver. He went in there to Tampa. Todd Bowles threw a lot of stuff at him, 25 for 36. And he wasn't getting a lot of design runs, but when he had to run and scramble, he's athletic enough to do it. And boy, he just gave them a spark on Sunday against the Bucs.
Hey, Coach, why don't you talk about, too, because you mentioned this to me, as far as these young quarterbacks that have had a ton of experience in college, how has that benefited them compared to like a guy like Anthony Richardson who hasn't played much in college?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I go back to 1999 and talking to Andy Reid. There were a lot of quarterbacks in that 1999 draft. We ended up taking Sean King in the second round, and he played really well for us in Tampa. But Andy took Donovan McNabb. There were a lot of big name guys in that draft, and he said, McNabb's my guy, and Donovan turned out to be great. And what Andy told me was, I really favor the quarterbacks who have played a lot of football, who come in experienced. Donovan was a 4-year starter. He didn't leave early. He had a lot of experience playing in college football and leading his team. And when you look at these two guys we've just talked about, Jayden Daniels and Bo Nix played 61 games in college. Jayden Daniels played 55. That's really more than 4 years of starting. So they're not coming in like normal rookies. Like you say, Anthony Richardson played a handful of games at University of Florida. These guys have played a lot of football. They've seen a lot of things, and they've been leaders for a number of years.
And I think that's something that we have to pay close attention to. Do you want a guy who's a good athlete, maybe not a great athlete, that has a lot of experience that you feel like can come in and play right away? Or do you want a guy like Anthony Richardson, who's a freak athlete, but has been kind of limited in his experience in college? And as we see, these guys that have had experience, their transition is a lot different than these guys that, really haven't had a lot of experience in college.
And the other thing about Bo Nix and Jayden Daniels, learning multiple systems in college. Jayden Daniels starts at Arizona State, learns that system, plays really, really well, transfers to LSU, has to learn another system, plays that system well, wins the Heisman Trophy. Bo Nix starts at Auburn and then goes to Oregon, leads them into national championship contention. So it's not just, hey, I did one or two things in college and had one good year, but no, I've played for a lot of coaches. I've learned a lot of football, and I think that does make a difference.
But, Coach, it's not just the physical qualities that they have. It's their leadership. It's the mental. It's the emotional things that they bring to the locker room. And when you're a quarterback, you have to deal with so many different personalities, so many different egos. And it's almost like you're a babysitter because you're always constantly adding people's egos and things like that. And I just think, these young guys to come in and to capture NFL locker room and have guys rally behind you, it says something special because guys are tough on young quarterbacks. So they, what I'm saying, especially when you've been drafted high, they want to know if you're going to come in and work hard. Are you a prima donna? So a lot of eyes are looking at you negatively, and you have to draw those eyes and make sure that, you bring that positive light. And these guys have done it. You look at his smile, and you look at Jayden Daniels when he's out there balling. Man, come on, Coach. What can the league ask for more, these young quarterbacks?
You're right. They've done it well. And it's a fine line because you have to come in and you can't be the diva. You can't be the star. You've got to win that locker room over. But you can't come in and say, oh, I'm just a rookie and I'll do whatever you guys say. You got to walk that fine line, and they've done it really well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.